Why do we read the Haftorah every Shabbos and Yontif? And why did the Rebbeim get Maftir?
So literally, Haftorah means dessert, the final part of the weekly portion of the weekly Haftorah. It seems to be like the original establishment of the Haftorah was based on a decree that was upon the Jewish people. This decree seems to take us back to the Greek era, to the Yevonim, which told the Jews that they could not read the Torah, the weekly portion, in public, in shul, on Shabbos. So what Chachamim did at that time was, they found an alternative. If I can't read the weekly portion out of the Torah, we could find an alternative and read a portion that comes out of the second part of Tanakh, the part of Nevi'im, the part of prophets. And what they did was, for every single week, they chose a portion that speaks about the same topic, the same idea that should have been read that week during that weekly portion, during the weekly Parsha. Even after the decree was removed, they still decided on keeping the Haftorah. And there's two reasons to it. Reason number one, in case, God forbid, there should be, again, this type of decree, they should have an alternative. The second reason, which is a deeper reason, is we know whatever was said on Torah was said on a certain level, and the Nevi'im, the prophets, applied whatever that said in a more practical, deep level. That's what they did, the Nevi'im. They took these ideas and they said them over to Am Yisrael in a much deeper and a relevant way that every single one could really apply to it and connect to it. Said Chachamim, after reading the weekly portion, let's take it onto a deeper place, let's take it to a more practical place, and therefore, even though there's no decree, Baruch Hashem, we should still stay with this addition of the part of Nevi'im, of the part of the Haftorah. In general, the Haftorah is usually 21 psukim. The idea is that it was read, as we said, as an alternative to the Parsha, and being the Parsha should have 7 chapters, 7 aliyahs, and every aliyah should be a minimum of 3 psukim. So 3 psukim times 7 aliyahs is 21. That's why usually the Haftorahs will be a minimum of 21 psukim. Whenever there's a special occasion, like it's Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh, Shabbos and Chanukah, if it's the Arba Parshas, the 4 special weeks that we read an additional portion around the time of the month of Adar, then the regular Haftorah will not be recited. It will be that special Haftorah. Haftorah in general, being that it's not an essential part of the Parsha, there are some communities that even allow little children to read the Haftorah. However, the custom in Chabad is that the Haftorah is read by someone that's over bar mitzvah. Another important thing about the Haftorah is that in order to honor the Sefer Torah, you can imagine that when the Parsha is over, whoever is supposed to read the Haftorah puts aside the Sefer Torah and opens the book of Navi, of prophets. So in order to give covet to the Sefer Torah before you put it aside, whoever reads the Haftorah starts with reading Maftir, 3 psukim from the Parsha, and only then he goes over to the Haftorah. The custom in Chabad is that the Rebbeim, we know that our Rebbe, the previous Rebbe, the Rebbe Rashab, used to get an aliyah specifically by Haftorah. And our Rebbe once explained why do the Rebbeim get this aliyah, why was it a big thing for the Rebbeim to have an aliyah by the Haftorah. And the Rebbe explained that one of the reasons is we know whenever someone gets an aliyah, he gets uplifted, not just physically, but also spiritually. All levels of his neshama get uplifted. Whenever we're talking about a Rebbe is not just a private neshama. Whenever a Rebbe gets an aliyah, all the generation, all the neshamas go up and have an uprise together with the Rebbe having an aliyah. And being that this aliyah, Maftir, Haftorah, was established through Mesiras Nefesh, by the Yidden trying to find a way to still connect to Torah, even though there was a decree. Whenever a Rebbe has an aliyah by Haftorah, the neshamis of Am Yisrael get an esinas koach, they get an extra strength in strengthening the concept of Mesiras Nefesh for learning and reading Torah.